At the moment, we are a bit fortunate in the sense that our two main exports, gold and cocoa, are not doing too badly. But of course, I think it's a matter of time. But we think that the current global economic downturn could have serious repercussions for us. We expect a drop in donor funding, a decline in trade. We are already experiencing a reduction in remittances from our countrymen, in the diaspora. And we also expect that interest in investment in Ghana, may be waning a little. But we're yet to see. But clearly, we are not insulated from the adverse effects of the economic downturn.
You get a lot of money from people who live overseas. So you're getting less of that money, but also if they can't find jobs, they're coming home, which swells your unemployment as well, doesn't it?
That is true. I had the opportunity of meeting our citizens living in London and on my tour, and I discussed it with them. The remittances have gone down. I know many of them have lost their jobs, are in the process of losing their jobs. So that could be another effect. There will be the temptation for them to come back home and swell the population of unemployed.
What did you say to them? Did you say, don't come home right away?
Well, the choice is not mine, but I sympathize with them and gave them hope that I think that things will pick up, but also gave them an indication of the problems that we are facing at home. So you weigh the two options and decide which is better for you.
And the income you get from remittance is 1/5 of the GDP, is that accurate?
Well, it's I don't know the exact percentage, but it's quite high. I mean, it is something that we look forward to, which means that it's a sizable amount.
Of course, you have discovered oil. Even you yourself have said oil is a blessing and a curse. How will you handle the oil? And what can you do differently maybe from other nations?
I think that the people of Ghana have a right to demand that we in leadership positions tell them how much we are getting from the oil and how it is being used. They must also be able to see visible signs of development or progress, see a difference in their lives as a result of the additional revenues that we are likely to get.
How soon will that happen? How soon can the oil turn into hard currency for Ghana?
It's at the end of next year, end of 2010, we should start, seeing something, or revenues coming from the oil and gas.
Now you have a budget deficit issue. You've got, as you said, challenges with the global economic crisis. Are things going to be tougher for Ghana in the next few years, or do you see a rebound in commodity prices, and that will help you with gold and cocoa prices?
We are in no doubt that the first 2 years are going to be rather difficult for us, 2009 and 2010. And we've alerted our citizenry to these possibilities. And we've also talked about the need for us to be rather circumspect, to adopt austere measures, to live within our means, to cut our coat according to the size of cloth that we have, and be innovative and adopt homegrown solutions to our problems. The next 2 years are not going to be easy, but I believe that with hard work, goodwill, sacrifice on our part, and with our collective efforts, we should be able to weather the storm.
China is very aggressive in Africa. The U.S. is now very aggressive in Africa. And how do they come to you? What kind of deals have you been making with those two?
Let me say that all nations are our friends. We believe that in this world, there are no enemies. We are prepared to cooperate with anybody. But in our dealings, we consider the interests of Ghana first. So it's not whether it's coming from the US or from China. The question that we ask ourselves, is this deal in the best interest of Ghana? We have got our own rules and regulations. We have put our cards on the table. Whoever is able to satisfy the conditions will be welcomed by us.
You've said you wanted to enhance education in Ghana, for instance. You've made some decisions on that. Could you explain some of them to us?
Well, education is the foundation of any society. This is a knowledge-based world, and we cannot lag behind as far as education is concerned. But education should start from the very beginning with primary education. We want to encourage every child of school-going age to be able to go to school. So in cases where children are too poor, we may even give them free textbook and then free uniforms. We're also insisting that at the primary school level, children are given at least one meal a day while they are in school. Free education also at the primary level. With the secondary level, we also want to contribute more towards tuition, toward the supply of textbooks, broaden out the curriculum. And then with tertiary education, which is extremely important, we are also inviting private sector involvement. Yes, we do not believe in full cost recovery for tertiary education. We believe in sharing, cost sharing. And therefore we think that where there are needy but brilliant students, the state should be able to sponsor them, give scholarships, etc. So it's a holistic view that we are taking about educational development in our country. But it's one of our top priorities.